Thank you very much for allowing me to speak today. My name is Andrew Rhoda, and I am the curator of puzzles at the Lilly Library. And I would like to talk to you today about the Jerry Slocum Mechanical Puzzle Collection and its place at Indiana University. In case you may not have had a chance to visit our library, let me start with a quick overview of the Lilly. The Lilly Library is Indiana University's Rare Books and Materials Library. We have around 400,000 books, 7 million manuscripts, and 137,000 pieces of sheet music. We have collections from many famous authors, publishers, and filmmakers. We even have 2 Oscar statues in our collection that mostly get used for selfies nowadays. As a rare materials library, our items cannot be checked out, but the majority of our holdings can be used in our reading room at the library after a short registration process. This includes our puzzle collection as well. However, most people first encounter the puzzle collection through our exhibits and displays in the Slocum Room. The room is part of the library's galleries and is open to the public except when classes are being held in it. The Slocum Room houses our permanent exhibit, which contains highlights of the puzzle collection from each of the 10 categories of the Slocum Puzzle Classification System. The list is there. This room also features hands-on puzzles, examples of puzzles, for patrons to use without having to register. As I mentioned before, this room functions as the library's primary instruction room, where outside events and classes are held. I've actually heard more than a few times my colleagues saying how they have almost literally had to drag people away from the hands-on puzzles to start their classes. One question I received shortly after beginning my tenure as the curator of puzzles in 2013 was why a library would have a collection of mechanical puzzles. Most people wondered at how puzzles could relate to the academic mission of a university. And my answer is that they relate very well. Went ahead too far. I have used the puzzle collection in presentations to classes from a wide range of departments, such as art history, comparative literature, folklore, mathematics, and cognitive science. A number of these classes have gone beyond simple presentations to become an important component of the class, especially with the Cognitive Science Department's Senior Capstone Seminar. I've had the opportunity to teach the students in that class about mechanical puzzles in more detail and how they relate to topics in cognitive science. One of my goals as the curator of puzzles has been to increase awareness of the Slocum Puzzle Collection both at the university and in the Bloomington community as a whole. With that in mind, last fall, the library had our first ever main gallery exhibit dedicated solely to puzzles. It was our Sam Lloyd Puzzle King exhibit, which was co-curated by Will Shorts and myself, and it also featured items loaned to us by Mr. Shorts from his collection of Sam Lloyd puzzles. We generated a considerable amount of interest and media attention with this exhibit, which resulted in one of the library's largest attendance numbers for the exhibit talk conducted by Mr. Shorts. Similarly, for the past 2 years, I have participated in the IU Science Fest, which is a consolidation of all of the open houses of Indiana University's science departments. I teamed up with the mathematics department to create a room of hands-on puzzles for the event. On the whole, the Science Fest has become a very popular event since the Office of Science Outreach has begun coordinating it. And the puzzle room is particularly well attended every year, which is remarkable considering that you have the chemistry department blowing things up in their presentation. So I have also participated with local groups such as the Makerspace Blooming Labs and the Children's Museum Wonder Lab in an effort to reach out to the blooming community. Most recently, I have been part of Wonder Lab's opening reception for their new exhibit, Your Amazing Brain. And much like the Science Fest, I brought a small group of hands-on puzzles for the attendees to try. It was so popular that my table right next to the entrance actually created a bit of a traffic jam. And a few weeks ago, with the Wonder Lab. I was also a part of their Wonder Lab After Dark event, which opened up the museum to patrons 21 years and older for an evening event. The event was a resounding success, with tickets being sold out before the doors even opened. And my table was a hit again as well, but as you can see, they put me in the archaeology corner this time, so no traffic jam. I plan on continuing my outreach efforts and have a number of events lined up with both the university and community groups. For example, I'm teaching a class as part of IU's continuing education department, focusing on puzzles of the 19th century. And I also plan to participate in the second annual Makevention Maker Convention, which is sponsored by Blooming Labs. And I hope to inspire potential future puzzle designers. With the increasing interest in the collection in our community and from the university, and the educational fields related to it, I hope to have more opportunity to inform people about mechanical puzzles and our collection. If you have any questions, please feel free to come up and ask me anything about the collection. I thank you and the Gathering for Gardner organizers for your time.